Welcome to all the viewers and students on my this channel, which is particularly about mathematics. And it's very soon that we have reached at this topic. The topic is how to find various angles with the help of your left hand. That's why I call this left hand method. So there are very different methods which we use to find various trigonometric values, but this method, particularly with the help of a hand, is very easy to use and is a practical one. So welcome again to this channel, where we are today going to find values of sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, various trigonometric identities with the help of a simple practical method which is called left hand method. You can find any value. Okay, I think you haven't seen such a video before this. This is one of its first kind in the field of mathematics. So let's try this method, and it's for all the students who are going for competitive exams in schools or college or engineering students. This is beneficial for all. So let's go. First of all we know that what is trigonometry. It is proper knowledge of all the angles and all the sides of a right angle triangle. Okay, so my method, which is known as left hand method, how it works: first of all you have to hold your left hand like this, thumb downwards and other fingers upwards. So the first step is to hold your hand like this, thumb downwards and other fingers upwards. So this is the position I have drawn here, and what we can find from here, all the values of angles from 0 to 90, which are very easy to find: 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. We can find any value of any trigonometry identity, okay, and any trigonometric function. So how can we find that? Let's start with sine theta. So I have written a formula here. How can we find sine of any angle? So this is a very simple method. First of all, we have to take square root of number of fingers below the given angle which you want to find. For example, I can take 60 degree. If someone wants to find angle sine of 60 degree, how he can find? So sine 60 degree. What the formula is: root of number of fingers below the angle divided by 2. So let's find number of fingers below the angle. So first of all, we mark the angle. Here it is 60 degree. Number of fingers below the angle. So below this 60 degree, there are 1, 2 and 3. 3 fingers are there. So we can write here 3 root. The root of 3 is there. Then we write divided by 2. So this is the value. Sine 60 degree is equal to root 3 by 2. You can check all your tables which you have with yourself. So sine 60 is always root 3 by 2, and that is correct. I'm sure that you can check this value with what you ever have. Okay, you can check this with your calculators or your any gadget. So the answer for sine 60 degrees is root 3 by 2. Now let's try another value. Sine of 45 degree. How we can find this one? What formula says? Number of fingers below the angle. So 45 degrees here, and number of fingers below this is 1 and 2. Only 2 fingers are there which are below 45 degree. So root of 2 divided by 2. So what we all have, root 2 by 2, which can be further solved or rationalized to give a simple result, which is 2 by 2 root 2, which finally results in 1 by root 2. So this is the answer for sine of 45 degree. I think you can find this, how easy this method is. Okay, next let's have one more value. We can try with sine 30 degree. Okay, so let's find the value of sine 30 degree. Sine of 30 degree with the help of this formula. So what it says: number of fingers below that angle. So which angle is this? 30 degree. How many fingers are there? Only one finger. The root of 1 divided by by 2. That is our formula. Root of 1 is 1 and below there is 2. So 1 by 2 is the value of sine 60 degree, and we know that this is very apt. Okay, so sine 30 degree is always 1 by 2. So this formula is now a general formula which we can use for any angle, whether it is 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, or 90 degree. So we can use it always anywhere. So this is for sine theta. Now the next trigonometric value is cos. How can we find the value of cos of any angle? So let's try that one also. Okay. The formula for sine cos is the formula for cos is this one. See this one. So cos theta is always equal to root of number of fingers above the angle. Please mind this word. This is above the angle. Number of fingers above that angle in this diagram divided by 2. Okay. So let's find cos of 60 degree. What is the value of cos 60? We can find this with the help of this formula. And what this formula says, find the number of fingers above the angle. So let's first mark the angle. How many fingers are above 60 degree? Only one finger is there. 1 root divided by 2, which is equal to 1 by 2. We can say that cos 60 degree is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, and you can check this is always right. Now next we can find cos of 30 degree. Let's try this one also. How can we find this? So according to the formula, number of fingers above the angle, then what is the angle here? 30 degree. There are only 3 fingers above 30 degree, so we can write here root of 3 divided by 2, and you can check cos of 60 degree is always root 3 by 2. It means this formula is also right for any angle which we want to find, whether it is 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, or 90 degree. If you have any other question regarding cos, we can also find that. So let me try one more question with cos. We can find value of cos 90 degree. So formula, what our formula says, root of number of fingers above that angle. This is 90 and there is no finger above this. So we can write 0 here and by 2. So root of 0 is 0 and 0 divided by anything is always 0. So answer of cos 90 degree is 0. So our formula is fit everywhere. It fits everywhere. Now some students have problem, sir, how can we find tan of any angle? So we also have formula for that in this method. So how that formula works, it is here. The formula is tan theta is always equal to root of number of fingers above the given angle divided by root of fingers below the angle. The number of fingers below the angle, then divided by root of number of fingers above the angle. So below is in numerator and above is in denominator, and both have roots. So this is the formula which I have written here. So I think the formula is clear for you. Next, let's try some values. First of all, we are finding tan 30 degree. What is tan 30 degree? According to this formula, first let's mark the angle, and this is 30 degree. Number of fingers below. So how many fingers are there? Only one finger. So we can write a root of 1. And below what we write? Number of fingers above 30 degree. So how many fingers are there? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 fingers are there. So root of 1 is 1 and root 3 is the denominator here. So what is the answer? 1 by root 3. And you can check with yourself. Tan 30 degree is always 1 by root 3. So this is the right answer. Let's try another question. Tan of 60 degree. Tan of 60 degree. So first up we have to mark the angle. This is the angle. And how many fingers are below this? 1, 2, 3. So root of 3 divided by root of how many fingers above 60 degree? Only one finger. Root 3 by 1, which is equal to root 3. It means tan 60 degree is always equal to root of 3. So this is the answer for tan 60 degree. So you have seen that how easily we have find all the trigonometric values by using our left hand. So this formula but I have given you a total three formulas, sine for one for sine theta, one for cos theta, and one for tan theta. All the formulas are very easy to learn because they are very practical. You can use this method which we call left hand method to find all the trigonometric values. So I think there is no doubt about finding these angles and values of these angles. And if one can find these angles, we can find another trigonometric values also, because we know that they are merely reciprocal of these values. Let me take one example. If somebody wants to find cosec of theta, so how he can find this? We know that sec of theta is reciprocal of cos theta. You can write 1 upon cos theta, right? And you can write the formula for cos theta. What is this? Number of fingers above the angle asked in the question, and we have 2 in the numerator. So total formula for sec theta will be 2 divided by root of number of fingers above the angle which is asked in the question. So this is the formula for sec. Similarly, we can write formula for cosec also. Cosec theta will be equal to 1 by sine. It is reciprocal of sine theta. We can write it like this: 2 upon root of number of fingers below angle. Below angle, and that is above angle. So we can find cosec theta from this side also. So this is the formula. It is merely reciprocal of sine theta. It is very easy to find sec theta and cosec theta. Now we have another value also which is called cot theta, cotangent of any angle. So we can find also that. Or we can find that cot theta. Cot theta is equal to reciprocal of tan theta. So what is the reciprocal for this? It is number of fingers above the angle divided by root of number of fingers below the angle. So this will be the formula for cot theta. We can find any value for this. If you want, I can solve a question for you. So let's find value of cot 30 degree. So first we have to mark that angle. So this is 30 degree. Whatever formula says, number of fingers above. So there are 1, 2, 3. 3 fingers above 30 degree. So we will write 3 and root of it. Next is number of fingers below 30 degree. There is only 1 finger below this. We can write this root 3 by 1, which is equal to root 3. So you can find that cot 30 degree is always equal to root of 3. So this is the right answer for this, and you can try yourself any value for any trigonometric function. These formulas fits every function and every value. So this is very old method from Indian history. This is very old one. In ancient time, people used to use this formula because they have to do questions orally. They do not have any gadget or pen or pencil. They always did it with their fingers. So this is very practical one. So if you want, you can try any of these trigonometric values with any of the angles given here. And after this, you can find complex angles also with the help of these angles, because every complex angle is somewhere multiple of these angles. If you find these values, we can find those complex values also. So I think this video is very beneficial for you, for all the students or my viewers who are learning or dealing with mathematical problems or trigonometric functions. This particularly this video will be very beneficial for them. Okay, so stay tuned and subscribe our channel so that more and more students can reach us and they can get benefit of all our formulas and such things. So thank you very much.